Right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you are doing well. It's another Burrowcasters Insert Disc podcast episode. As you can see, for those of you watching the video version of this, I've been joined by Sam again. Uh,
What's
as
up?
you,
Hello.
Hello, thank you for joining today, Sam.
No,
Uh,
thank you for having me, dude.
yeah, as I'm sure probably most of you know, especially from my stream, me and Sam both play Fortnite regularly together, on stream as well, which usually involves us two telling the other one they did something wrong or something like that happening, basically.
9 times out of 10, yeah.
Yeah. But yes, we thought we'd do another podcast episode. As you guys probably know, Sam has been on a fair few podcast episodes with me before about different things. A couple of them have been about Fortnite as well. And we're going to do another sort of look back at the previous season of Fortnite just gone past, so the Marvel season. Now, a bit of background for you, those who might not know about this. Basically, this was the second Marvel season that Fortnite have ever done. They did one ages ago, which was actually on the Chapter 2 island, I think, off the top of my head. Um, they did that, and then they decided to bring it back. Now, going to the first one, my initial thoughts were that I enjoyed it, but it did get a bit ridiculous. And I think my thoughts have stayed the same for this season as well. And obviously, and again, if you've been in my streams, you know that me and Sam have obviously we've been vocal about our opinions on this season.
When aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're not shy about our opinions on the seasons. To be honest, we will always just say no, that didn't work, or yes, that worked, things like that. Um, so yeah, it's Marvel, so you got all your superheroes coming in. They changed it around from last time. I was trying to remember it now off the top of my head. It feels like ages ago,
See,
right?
I didn't play the first Marvel season. I
Mm.
wasn't around for that. So this was the first Marvel season for me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it at the beginning,
Hmm.
and then they threw so much in
Yeah.
that it just completely made it worse, and I think it just went completely the wrong way. So, the prime example that comes to mind for me is the Captain America shield.
Yes.
So when obviously that was first in, it was so buffed that you couldn't hit anything through it. Then it came through the nerf, and I think it completely went the opposite way. They nerfed it too much to the
It,
point that
mm,
it took. I mean, I didn't like it in the end, the Captain America shield. And then obviously they brought the
yeah.
Iron Man gauntlets in and the
Oh
Iron
yeah.
Man boots.
Mm.
And it gave people that play it frequently, play it daily and religiously, it just gave people a distinct advantage.
Yeah, it did, and I certainly agree with you on the Captain America shield. There, it was. I think it was a similar situation when we had the ballistic shield
Mm.
a few seasons back, or however many seasons
Yeah, when that
back it
first came
was.
in,
That
yeah.
at first everyone was like, "This is gonna, it's breaking the meta because it is just so powerful."
Yeah.
So you could just literally just walk up to someone and just be like, "No, I've still got at least 10 more shots," and you're
Yeah,
just
you can
slowly,
unload
slowly,
a full
slowly.
clip on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what happened with the Captain America shield. I think with the nerf, what happened is, especially for squads and like duos or trios, it became a lot worse
Mm.
because you could just focus fire on the shield straight away and they would get knocked, and then obviously that leaves them open.
Yeah.
Um, in solos, I found it wasn't too bad. You just had to be a bit more careful with it. You couldn't sort of solely
It was more
rely on
precision
it.
based, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
you couldn't rely on it like you could at the beginning of the season, like you say.
Mhm.
You had to, it was timing of when you could throw the shield
Yeah, I mean,
rather than just being able to throw it, instantly.
yeah, another thing that did make me laugh. This is another thing that well, it made me laugh because this item was only supposed to be for build modes, and I've used them before. Armored walls. So basically, they were like
Okay.
stupidly armored walls, sort of like massive metal walls. Basically, you could put on your buildings, and they'd
Yeah.
have a stupid amount of health. Um, and build modes, they are really good. They're really strong. It would take quite a few rockets to get through, basically. So I think it is something like maybe 5,000 odd health or
Bloody
something.
hell.
Yeah, so it is.
That's ridiculous.
Obviously, they made it so you're not constantly picking them up, but you'll find
Yeah.
them now and again. For some reason, they made their way into the zero build island,
Okay.
I don't know how. And you can't use them for anything because we can't build. It's a bit like
Yeah, of
that's
course.
a bit random, but I assume they probably had to just put it in there for both. There was a video I watched. I think it was on one of the top 5 gaming videos. They showed it. The Captain America shield. It would go through the so the animation would still work to let it go through the armored walls. It wouldn't do anything on the first attack, but
Okay.
it comes back and it damaged on the rebound. Someone could be hiding
Right.
behind an armored wall. You could just go throw, 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 and you're still damaging them because on the rebound is taking their damage.
So that's what, and
And it's
again,
just
I
like, what the
noticed that
hell?
with the nerf, the rebound
Mm,
wasn't as anywhere near as reliable on the once it had been nerfed.
yeah.
You know, like if you went up against a duo, for example,
Mm,
you could hit both people on the rebound. It was
yeah.
almost like it had its own aim, I suppose, once it was coming back, or you could
Mm.
hit the same person twice. But after the nerf, that was less likely to happen.
Yeah, I think after nerf, it needed more. It needed more of the situation where you had people close together. Because I know a couple
Yeah.
of times I used it, and there were people close together, and I was quite surprised. So I got both of them like once before it came back to me. You
Mm.
sort of, I aimed at one person, and obviously it bounced onto the next person, and then
Yeah.
came back to me. So I think it did become something that was more situational in the end than just, oh, look at
Yeah.
me,
I think so.
I
Yeah,
just go
absolutely. They definitely made it that
wee, and
way.
I've
I do apologize. Bear with me.
Willow agrees apparently. I'm wondering, that's Sam's dog. Oh, I just saw Willow.
Sorry.
That's all right,
She's
mate.
not normally loud, and then the one time that I need her to be quiet.
Okay, yeah. So as obviously we did have the Captain America shields, and we got a lot to cover in this one. Basically,
There is a
um,
lot to cover, actually, thinking about it. Yeah.
there is now obviously the other one we know that was, especially the start of the season, was quite a big combo. Was the War Machines weapons, which had the War Machines
Yeah.
arsenals, the turret, and the jetpack as well.
Which was a huge advantage if you
Oh, it
knew how
was.
to control it properly and you could utilize it. It gave everybody, but it was like every season, it was a race, wasn't it? Everybody
Yeah.
wanted to get those mythics. Everybody wanted the War Machines Arsenal, which, like you said, I think is the most balanced and
Oh, yeah.
probably the best mythic of of the previous season.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah,
That part of it.
I enjoyed it. The War Machines Arsenal was very good. I mean, again, it could do a lot of damage, um, but obviously it only had its set range, so
Yeah.
you can be like, oh, someone's 100 odd, 200 odd meters away from me. I'm just gonna snipe you with rockets.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. But I think that's why it worked so well, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
it gave you a good defense if you had vehicles coming in or you had a
Yes.
team encroaching on your, where you wanted to be.
Mhm.
It definitely gave you that, and then coupled with the SMG, and if you had the auto turret as well, damn.
Yeah. The auto turret became,
Mm.
yeah, it was love hate for me.
Yeah,
It was very useful at times. Other times I did curse it because I'd want to try and be stealthy.
yeah,
Oh,
and you'd
just
forget you have it on,
yeah,
or you'd forget to turn it off because
yeah,
not a lot of people did that. I did turn it off a few times
mm,
when I was trying to encroach on teams and get myself in a position where I'd be better suited. But then sometimes I'd forget to turn it on. So I'd have people creep up on me
yeah.
and I wouldn't know about it because if I hadn't heard them for whatever reason, um, and the turret just didn't activate. And that again, just because I've turned it off and hadn't turned it on.
Yeah, a few times I turned it off back, so I think when I'd be doing a reload, check all my guns, and then just not
Yeah.
realizing. I'm just like, why didn't my turret work? It's like, oh wait, I think I turned it off.
But yeah, there's I mean the season overall for me, it started off well,
Mm.
but towards the end, I didn't overly enjoy it as much as I
No,
did at the beginning. I think I don't know. I think they brought too much in, to be
I
honest. I
think
think with the Iron Man mythics,
yeah.
the War Machine, the
Mm.
jetpacks that we had, and then I know obviously we had Fortnite mares mixed up in the season, so you had the chainsaw and everything. I think it was just a bit much.
Yeah, I think there was a lot going on this season, and then you add in the medallions as well,
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
which that was always a rush for to see
Yeah,
who would get there first and who could take the boss down, etc., and all that.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and obviously later on in the season, or towards the end of it, we had the Iron Man stuff
Yeah,
come in, which again, like you said, was good fun. It was good to see, because on the first Marvel season, I think so. We didn't have, if I remember correctly, we had the Stark Industries rifle,
yeah.
which was a lot better than the first one before it got nerfed for this season, or
Okay.
this Marvel season, should say, because it just wasn't good at all.
Yeah.
Basically, it's pretty naff. Um, I think we had like a uni beam there as well, but I don't recall us having the gauntlets that
Right. Okay.
we
Got
have in
you.
this season. So um,
I think the gauntlets were good. I
yeah,
didn't mind the gauntlets, but they had that auto aim on where they would like auto lock,
yeah,
and I don't know. I'm in two minds about that. As to, I mean, obviously using it helps,
mm.
but it didn't for a mythic. It didn't do a whole lot of damage on the shots. It
It's
ran out really quickly before it had to recharge itself.
yeah. I mean, the individual damage of each shot wasn't that much, but I think
No,
if you could get
I
enough,
suppose if it's accumulated, yeah.
yeah, if you got enough shots off in succession, it did start to rack up the damage a fair
Mm,
bit. But I think it was more sort of a case of you getting close. And like you said, obviously, it did have the overheating function on it,
yeah.
which I think was good, really, because I think otherwise, if it didn't have the overheating, then it'd be another thing. You just
It
have
would, yeah,
too many
it would
people
be
running around
ridiculous.
with.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm in two minds about it. Because, like you say, if it didn't have that,
Mm,
then people would just be running around using that the entire time, and you would just get absolutely blasted.
yeah, yeah, and obviously we had the boots as well, which just
Yeah,
that I don't. This is one of the gripes I did have with this season is the amount of mobility stuff that they chucked in the end.
yeah,
Um, it's just like once you put the Iron Man boots in, everything else just seemed obsolete and just pointless, really. Because
yeah. I mean, I think mobility wise, I think I had more fun with the chainsaw than anything, to be
yeah,
honest.
I mean, you had the
Um,
chainsaw, which was good. That was on its own, but
yeah,
they took out War Machine's jetpack. I
they
can't
did. Yeah,
remember why they took it out. I can't remember if they had some issue with
I
it
would
or
imagine
something.
it's. I don't know, but I would have imagined it's just because they brought in the Iron Man stuff.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, even backtracking a bit, I'm pretty sure I remember seeing like some people creating some really nasty combinations with War Machine's jetpack and Shrushi's claws. They could just basically just
oh yeah,
jump
Shuri's
across
claws were.
half the map with both those together.
Yeah, they could be a bit crazy to be fair,
Mm,
because obviously you've got that jump, and then when you've got the activation bar fully active, you can cover some distance.
yeah, I mean, I think I would have made the Iron Man boots probably have a bit less fuel because it's just like it's
Yeah, you could
the
cover a lot
amount.
of distance with those, and that's the
Yeah,
thing. I didn't use it as an attack. I used it
mm,
as a travel. I used it for its mobility,
mm.
rather than using it to get myself in the air and for an attack.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. It's although I mean, I know you could shoot someone in the air, and if you got lucky, or if you got a lucky hit on them, I think it would
Mm,
knock them down, then bring them down, which is it's like yeah, but it doesn't seem to do much because if they can just get away, and
yeah.
pretty sure you
If
can
they
dodge
if
and
they
weave
were
with
able
it.
to jump, if they had the stamina to jump and slide, they'd be out of the way, before, because that was the problem with the unibeam, wasn't it? It did the damage if you hit, but it was
Yeah.
timing it. It was the timing because it took time
Mm.
for you to fly up, get yourself straight, because that's what the animation was, and actually fire it.
Yeah, well, it's just like when we had like the
Mm.
Kami Kami Ha and everything.
Yeah,
That was a
I suppose it was. Yeah, similar, and also similar to Zeus's Thunderbolt. It had that animation first, and obviously it has to have that animation to build up the power. But yeah,
So I can just
it's all right.
just a message from Shadow there. We
That's all
could
right, not a problem at all.
just want to check if I'd had a chance to do something. I was like, yeah, it's like we'll do it after I've done this, basically.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I was really excited being a Marvel fan. I was
mm,
excited for the season, and like I say, I enjoyed the kind of like the first maybe half of the season, and then it just started to. I don't know. Fortnite's a love hate game for me anyway, as you know. That
yeah,
sometimes I will have the best fun on Fortnite and I'll continue to play it, and then other times I'm like, right, I'm done. I'm coming off because I'm just going to get too ragey. And that's how
mm,
this new season's been so far for me. Now they've brought back in the heavy snipers and the porter fort. Like the other
yeah,
day, for example, this guy was just camping on top of a mountain in a porter fort with a legendary scar,
mm,
and just he hit every shot, no matter what direction I was going in. I was zigzagging, I was jumping, I was sliding, and he didn't miss a shot on me at all.
yeah. No, that is fair enough. I agree that I have matches where I'm just like, I was actually really good in other matches where I'd just be like, nope, that sucked. That
Yeah,
completely sucked, and it's just like I don't know
yeah.
what I was doing. I wasn't paying attention and things like that. I mean, I know there's been times in stream where chat have deliberately tried to throw me off and things. There's a few
Oh, but
good
that's chat.
clips.
That's going to
That's
happen.
chat.
That's what you want from chat.
Yeah, one that always
If your
sticks
chat
in.
aren't doing that, they're not a proper chat.
Yeah, one that sticks in my mind. I can't remember who it was. I would have to go back and have a look at the clip. Um, I'm literally like in the top three or something, and someone just plays the expletive beard um sound alert, and I'm just
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I'm just like, don't do that. I'm in like the top three. I'm in the middle of the open. I'm in the top three. Don't
Yeah,
play that
yeah.
sound alert.
I have it all the time. If I'm playing, Beans will come downstairs and he'll be like, "Dad, what are you doing? How are you getting on?" And I'm like, "I've got my headphones on so I can take advantage of the surround sound
Mm.
and hear everything perfectly." And I have to take one headphone off because he's talking to me. And then Lady McT will call me. I'm like, "What? I'm in the final 10. I'm concentrated. Leave me alone. I just want to get a win. I just want to do what I can. Just give me a few minutes."
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Um.
But yeah, I mean,
mm,
I think overall the season, I wouldn't say it was a complete washout, but
no.
the second half of the season for me was a washout.
Yeah. I enjoyed seeing all the Marvel stuff back. Will agree on that. It was
Mm,
nice to see all the Marvel stuff and see the new skins they've done and things like that. I mean, one thing that I know a lot of people did sort of question is obviously the main villain of this thing was Doctor Doom,
yeah,
and he came in and changed some of the map around. Uh, and I don't know how often you went to Doom's castle, wherever it's supposed to be.
mm.
Um, but in there was remnants of the Fantastic Four. So
Oh, okay,
there was supposed to be a ball which was supposed to be Mr. Incredible.
yeah,
Doctor Doom's throne was made out of the Thing.
okay,
There was a glass case which was supposed to be the Invisible Woman, aka Sue
yeah.
Storm. I can't remember what was supposed to happen to Johnny Storm. That was actually just like a whole sort of like, okay, that's kind of a bit dark there. I think a lot of people were just like, oh, we're gonna have the Fantastic Four come in, but they never came in. They just got that
I
random
mean,
cameo, which is a
yeah,
bit
I,
like,
I
I think
think,
you missed something there, especially if you put Doctor
yeah,
Doom in.
I
And
know.
I can't actually recall if the Fantastic Four did come in before this. I think they might have been a skin. I can't remember off the top of my head.
See, I don't know because again, I started quite late in comparison to yourself and other people that we play with.
Mm.
Fortnite for me, and I've said it before, when it was a game that I would never have played. And everybody was like, "Yeah, you should play it, you should play it." And I tried playing it with Stroppy Carrot, and I was like, "Actually, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be." And I got into it, and I played it excessively for a while. And
Yeah.
I do enjoy it, but I don't know. I mean, Doctor Doom was another one
Mhm.
because when I know the spawn rate chance was low,
Oh, the
But
Doom armor, yeah.
if you got to the island and you got that Doom armor,
Mm.
you were laughing.
Again, I think for me that was another love hate thing because when someone had it, it's just so OP. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of people comparing it's basically on the first Marvel season. I think what they did then, they did a limited time mode because it was to coincide with the Avengers films
Yeah.
on that point, and you could basically go into limited time mode where it's you could basically get a chance to play as Thanos.
Okay.
And like some players would be the Skitarii, and the other players would be like their characters trying to stop the
Yeah.
Skitarii getting the Infinity Stones. And if you got the Infinity Stones, then I think whoever got to the Gauntlet first became Thanos or something.
Okay.
But that was only in a limited time mode, and people were like comparing it to that when you got it. Sorry, just text me. Sorry, we've been sorting out getting we're sorting out getting a new mattress delivered.
Oh, okay, fair
So
enough.
I was just like, have you have you done it yet? Because I tried to do it last night, but the website wasn't working. I was like, oh,
I
I'll
hate
do
it
it
when that
tomorrow.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's something that we're doing in the new year as well. We're gonna completely redecorate and everything
yeah,
upstairs in the bedroom and what have you.
yeah. So I think they, with the Fantastic Four not appearing, I think they did miss something there. I think,
Yeah,
uh,
they could have capitalized on that quite a bit
yeah,
actually. I think especially if you had the skins in the item shop,
mm,
a lot of people would have gone for those,
yeah,
especially if they were based around the Fantastic Four with Chris Evans and Jessica Alba and stuff like that. They
mm.
the original.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I say yeah. With the skins, they'd be brilliant. Obviously we do have the medallions as well, which I think they were a bit of a mixed bag this time. Um,
Yeah,
well, obviously we had three, I think, off the top of my head, wasn't it?
yeah. So you had
Yeah,
Mysterio's medallion, which gave you the when you
stealth.
crouched, gave you the stealth. You
Yeah,
had the ping medallion, which was
yeah,
what Emma Frost,
yeah.
and then you had the medallion from
Doom,
Doom
which was
himself.
the siphon one.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I
Yeah,
do.
I mean, I used my go-to if I was going for a medallion was always Emma Frost medallion.
Yeah,
I think
I
is
think that
the
was
ping. I always
everybody's
like the
go-to
ping.
'cause it was so useful.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. And the same with the shakedown now on the new season, where you're able to
yes.
shake down a downed opponent and find their team.
Mm.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
So that was always my go-to. I didn't actually get to use Doom's medallion.
The siphon one was all right in the situation. It was basically you got an elimination, you got some of your health back if you lost it.
Yeah.
Mysterio's one, I know they did change it around a bit. I think they did nerf it at times.
Well, I think yeah, because it gave you quite a lot of time to be crouched and in stealth, and unless you
Yeah.
physically changed to a weapon, you'd stay stealth for quite a while. And I think they must have nerfed it because the time seemed to be reduced later on in the season
Mm.
of how long you would be, hidden for.
Yeah, I think towards the end, you had to be standing still for the invisibility to work. You couldn't
Mm.
like move around or anything,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was fair enough. I can't remember if I think I did see it. Someone had the medallion on, and I think I remember seeing this. Either I somehow dreamt it happened. Uh, I think I saw a video of someone using the medallion to revive their Mysterio's stealth medallion to revive their teammates. What they did is they jumped on top of the reboot van, turned the stealth on, and then pressed the button to revive.
That's a clever way to
And
do it, to be fair.
people
It's a
running
good
around
way
is
of
like,
doing it.
what the hell?
How the hell? Yeah, what's
Yeah,
going on?
and they're
That's
just they had
crazy.
to stand there. It's like, oh yeah, look, he's
Yeah,
down there now. He's down there. No, no,
yeah.
he's down there. And all
That's
the while, it's
300
just like,
IQ right there.
oh yeah, that is
Yeah,
hundred
that's
percent
working
300
at next
IQ.
level. And then you do see people like that, and you can't be mad at people like that.
Oh no.
Like I do get annoyed sometimes. Like I'll go up to somebody and I'll unload a full clip, and they seem to get me doing with like 2, 3 shots,
Mm.
and I'll rage a bit at it. But when you see someone that gets a really good play,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like you can't help but think, actually, I wish I thought of that.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I wish
hundred
that was
percent.
me that did that. And fair play to them for
Mm.
for utilizing what they can and finding little tricks here and there that aren't illegal, but you're thinking, shit,
Mm. Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, the amount of times I've had someone outplay me on Fortnite, and I've
Yeah,
just been like, "Yeah,
yeah,
hats off
can't
to
be
you.
mad at
That
that.
was a
Yeah.
good play." Um, no, I mean, you know what I'm like on Fortnite. If I hate it if someone emotes when it's like a really cheap kill or something like that. It's just like,
I'm the same. I'll emote if it's a good kill,
yeah,
and I'll be the first to admit that I will do that. But if it's a really cheap kill, like third party or something, I won't do
yeah.
that.
Or it's just like someone just comes up and it's like you're in the final squad, and then the other squad wins, and it's like it's a 1v1, and they get all the win, and then the other guy like went down straight away, and then the other
Yeah.
guy who's gone down and starts emoting. It's just like, no, you didn't do
You did
anything.
nothing. You don't deserve
Stop
the credit.
emoting. Your friend carried you.
Yeah. But I'm that friend. I'm that friend that at the end, if I've gone down, I will emote because I got the win. So I can't be mad at that because I am that friend.
No, no. I do understand it. It is for people. It is part of the fun having the
Yeah.
emotes, and I can see. I've seen some videos that even made me laugh a little bit or smile. It's like people have just done certain emotes and things like that. Um, which always it does make me smile a bit.
I think it's part of the appeal, isn't it, of the game? Because like you look at games like Call of Duty and stuff, and yeah, they add in like the stealth kills and everything, and they've added a few wrestlers
Oh yeah.
to
Mm.
DLCs recently, and it does add to it. And I think that's where Fortnite stands above the rest in some of the games. In that sense, is that initially, yes, it might have been catered to a younger demographic, but older people are starting to pick it up, and older
Yeah.
people are playing it, and people that have played it for years are
Mm.
introducing new people to it. And I think it does hit various demographics, and that's why it does so well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if you look, I mean, I don't know if there is a list, but if you look at probably the amount of collabs
Yeah,
and things they've done. I mean, obviously branded collabs. This season we're in currently, uh, it is one of the weirdest things I think I've ever someone's ever decided to do. They're actually going to give us trainers we can get, like we can actually
yeah, I
buy
saw
shoes
that.
and things.
Yeah, I saw
Which
that. Yeah,
my
I did see
initial
that.
thought was just like, oh, this is probably just something they've gone for Nike and Adidas just to get more of their
Yeah.
stuff in it. But apparently, there's something that made me laugh, which I may have to get just for the fun of it, which should work. I don't think they've said when it's going to be released, but eventually they're planning to release shark slippers
Oh,
as
that's
shoes. I'm
fantastic.
just like,
Can you imagine
yes.
human Bill? You can imagine human Bill walking around with shark slippers rather than
But
his
they literally
sandals. That'd
look
be
like
crazy.
those sort of kind of slippers you get kids when they're
Yeah,
younger.
yeah,
Like from
fantastic.
like the ones I remember was ones that my cousins, or at least one of my cousins, used to have when I mean, he were young, like the 90s, like the
Yeah.
Simpsons. They were like Homer Simpson's face, basically. It's
I
those kind of
used to
like
love those sorts of
those kind of ones.
slippers.
Yeah, it's those kind of
Yeah, yeah, I know
slippers.
what you mean.
I mean, Shadow got me
Fantastic. I love that.
Shadow got me some as well. I used to love while I was still living at home with my parents. It was they were foxes, and they were so
Fantastic.
cute. Not very practical, because of
No,
the front of it was actually just like a sort of proper cuddly toy fox head.
I kind of like that though. That if they're going to bring in little aesthetics that you can add and change up and stuff, I think that's quite good. Don't get me wrong. I like the
Yeah,
fact that
mm,
like when you get like you look at Snoop Dogg for example,
yeah,
you've got his two different sets of clothes, but you can also take his glasses off. There's two different sets of glasses and stuff like that. And like Shaq's got multiple
hmm,
that you can do. You can change the color range on Shaq is crazy, and
yeah.
I like that. But being able to like change the shoes on something and
Mm.
switch it up a bit, I kind of like that
Yeah,
idea.
I think I said to Shadow actually. I said I think one thing I'd love to see is either if we can like just get normal ones we can fully customize ourselves, but
Yeah.
without having brands, or they've got to give us Sonic Super Sneakers.
Oh yeah,
If I
that'd
get
be
that,
good,
I'm
wouldn't
going. I'm just like, right, that's it. No,
it?
no, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. I'm getting. It's like, God,
Yeah,
is it the
yeah,
give
absolutely.
me. I'm like,
I mean, like
oh,
I'm really looking forward. Obviously, as an Eminem fan, I'm really looking forward to the remix of Rap Boy.
oh
Because it
yeah.
looks really good. It looks really
Mm.
good, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a bit better than the previous one. Um, I kind of like the collabs this season, though. I like Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's up for anything.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, the collabs this season haven't really fussed me. I know a lot of people are hate. I was watching a video on this earlier, actually. A lot of people are hating on the Ice Spice skin.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
what
like,
when
oh,
Beans told me that Ice Spice was in there, I was like, oh no. It's like the only thing that could be worse is having Sexy Red in there. And that would, yeah, no, I wasn't sure on that. What's
yeah.
next? P Diddy? P Diddy
Well,
with a
I think.
baby oil back bling.
I'll send you the video link after this because it's there's a few bits on there. It's just like, oh right, okay. But a
Yeah.
lot of people are just like, this doesn't really feel like you've gone back to do an OG
Well, this
thing.
is what you said. This is what you were saying when we were playing with Beans the other day. You
Hmm.
know, some of the skins, having seen the older skins, because obviously you've worn some of them,
Yeah,
it does feel that some of the battle pass this time round is just lazy.
yeah. I mean, you got to be fair to them that it is this is only a month, so we
Yeah,
haven't got a full sort of what, three
that's the
months or
thing.
however
Yeah,
long they might want to do a season. So but the video I watched, the guy again, this is a top five gaming video I was watching. He did say that obviously the main thing is this season is a
Mm.
remix. It's
Yeah,
not a pure OG like we had previously with the season one O or the
yeah,
chapter one OG, which was just like we are giving you everything you had back on that island, basically.
yeah.
And here's the update. Here's some updated skins and that. And yes, they have updated the skins. I'll admit some of them are, as you just said, and as I was playing with you and just some beans on the Xbox. There's some of them I'm not really that taken with. I'm just a bit like,
No,
didn't really feel like you tried to
I haven't
do
gone for the battle
much.
pass. I mean,
No.
it wasn't even last season, but the season before, I wasn't going to go for the battle pass. But I had so many battle stars racked up that I was just like, I think I'm going to have to just to use them. Because obviously it's a waste of battle stars,
Yeah.
because once the season refreshes, you start again. You start with 0 battle stars, so it's just a waste. So I
Mm.
unlocked what I could without buying the battle pass, and I'll do the same this time round, but I don't think I'm gonna buy it at all this time.
Yeah. And speaking of Battle Pass and their system, they're changing that some point soon as well now. So they're going to eventually get rid of Battle Stars. And it's just going
Yeah,
to be
I
the
heard
XP
this.
is going to be
Yeah,
you have to get so much XP to unlock one thing, and then
yeah,
you can unlock the other passes or the normal passes for like festival and I
yeah.
think rocket racing if they're doing that.
I heard there were rocket racing was getting stopped.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I read this somewhere. Let me see if I can bring it up.
I haven't
But I
heard
read
anything
this
about that.
somewhere.
I
I meant
mean,
because I was thinking this yesterday when you were talking to Addy in stream
yeah.
about rocket racing.
Hmm. I'd say it's certainly not as popular as the other modes are. I mean, it's out of all three. I definitely think it's obviously battle royale and festival that are the top two out of all three of them. Because obviously
Yeah,
battle royale is battle royale. It's been there for that long. Festival is basically what Guitar Hero should have been when it came back
mm.
to life. I mean, I'm sorry, Guitar Hero. I loved your games, but your last game just nah.
Guitar Hero was awesome.
Yeah, the very last game was not very good at the end.
Yeah, so Fortnite's rocket racing game mode appears to no longer be getting new seasons or official tracks.
Hmm,
So they're not going to be doing anything with it.
really?
Yeah,
That's quite
I think
surprising
because
because
it soared in popularity when it first came,
yeah,
and I think it's just died down. And after I think what it's only been 6 months, and they've decided that they're not going to be doing any more updates or anything with it, just because it's
yeah,
just dropped
that's a shame because I thought it did
in
have a lot of
popularity.
potential. That really.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah, they're ending all the theme stuff, and so everything you've got now with Rocket Racing
hmm,
will stay, but they'll no longer be doing any themes going forward or anything like that.
well, that's a shame. I mean, oh yeah, I've a bit conflicted on that because, like I said, I did think it had potential, but
Mm,
at the same time, it's like yeah, you can do community creation maps and things like that, but then it's like you've got to go onto this whole find the UEFN
yeah,
thing. It's just like there's nothing. I mean, what I would have
It's
done
not very
is
user friendly, is it, for that sort of thing? Because unless you know what
no.
you're doing,
Mm.
someone like me that has no clue and would just go, "Oh, okay, I'm just going to go and lay a few tracks down and a few jumps here and there."
Yeah,
It's not user
you
friendly for somebody like that.
yeah, you want to take a page out of
Yeah,
Trackmania's book. That was a
exactly. And I'm the prime example for that. I've been a gamer
mm,
for years, but I haven't really expanded too many horizons away from that to go, "Oh, okay, I'm going to go into a creative side." So you'd want it to be user friendly for that sort of stuff, and maybe that's what's stopped it. Maybe that's
maybe.
what stopped the. I don't know, but I know it had a huge surge in popularity when they bought it. The buzz around it was amazing.
Mm,
Even I played it a few times. I wasn't hugely keen on it, but I did play it. Um, and yeah, and then I remember reading something the other day. It reminded me yesterday when you said to Addy about it, and I was like, I swear I read that they're stopping something to do with the rocket racing, and that's obviously what it is.
oh, well, that's very surprising. Um, how obviously backtracking to the previous season, obviously
Mm.
we had Fortnite mares.
Yeah.
Du, du,
Fort Nightmares
du.
was alright. I didn't mind the skins. I loved I got
Yeah.
Captain Hook as part of Fort Nightmares
All
because
right. Yeah.
Captain it's just a nostalgia from Disney.
Mm.
And the fact that they finally brought some Disney skins in to Battle Royal, because obviously
Yes.
when Disney put that massive financial boost into Epic,
Mm.
the possibilities became endless, but everything has been to do with Lego so far, or
Yeah.
whatever they're building away from Lego and Battle Royale. So the fact that they brought in some Disney villains, I loved, and I'd really love to see the villains that they brought in,
Mm.
them in the future bringing the heroes to go along with them. So, like,
Yeah.
you've got Captain Hook maybe bringing a Peter Pan skin, you've got Maleficent, and you've got Ursula and stuff. So maybe bringing Ariel and everyone that coincides with that.
Mm.
Um, I mean, Cruella de Vil doesn't make sense. You can't be. I mean, you could be walking around as a Dalmatian. Who knows? But I would like to see
It's
some more
Fortnite.
Disney skins in
Don't
there.
don't
No, yeah,
count that out. It's
well,
Fortnite.
that's what I
We
mean.
have
Absolutely.
Meowscles and
Yeah,
everything like
exactly.
that.
That's what I mean. So you could be walking around as Pogo from 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, that'd be funny.
Um, yeah, it would be. But I think I like the thought. But Edward Scissorhands for me was the
Mm.
one that I was after the most,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think they did a good job with the skins there.
Yeah, I agree with you. The skins were good. The only random one that I think was a bit too shoehorned in was the new marshmallow variant. Um,
Yeah.
and again, obviously, I think a lot of people said like,
Is that Rave Mellow? Was that the
yeah,
one? Yeah.
rave mellow or something. I think a lot of people were just like, right, well, he's not really anything to do with Halloween, but I think he more got
No.
shoehorned in, because he Marshmallow has been helping with the remix
Well, he was
season.
also the first ever collaboration, wasn't he, with Fortnite? He was the first big
Was
name
it? Oh yeah,
collaboration, was
no,
he?
yeah.
I think.
I think he was. Yeah,
So he's obviously got a shoe in there anyway. He's got his foot in the door with that. And then, like you say, if he's been helping, then obviously they were always going to give him something.
yeah.
But yeah, I think Rave Mellow was a bit lackluster. But I loved Edward Scissorhands. I love the fact that they brought Hook in. Um, Michael Myers, obviously. I was a bit disappointed that they didn't bring Freddy or Jason in. I know they had Leatherface, and I know that they've had them before. Um,
Hmm.
I believe, but it would have been good
Uh,
to have Freddy and Jason in.
I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure Freddy hasn't been in it before. I
Well, see,
can't. Re-
Freddy would be a good one, I think, because
yeah,
obviously he's a cult classic horror
yeah.
film.
Well,
He's got a huge fan base.
yeah. They've had quite a few times where they've sort of teased, because
Mm.
a while back they actually teased it.
Oh, see, that
It
would be fantastic if they
but
had Pennywise.
it was a very simplistic thing they did, which I thought in the end worked quite well, but it was a bit like, oh, so you're not giving us any more than this.
Oh, so that sucks.
I think it was on the Chapter 2 island. If I remember correctly, I think it was. I'm trying to remember all the names now. Uh, Holly Hedges. Is oh, Pleasant Park. That was it.
Right,
I think it
okay.
was Pleasant Park. There was like some gratings by the pavement, and there was some balloons there. If you pop the balloons,
Oh, okay.
you hear Pennywise laugh.
See, that's sneaky. They should have brought that in because that would have been a really good one to do.
Excuse me.
And with the two variants you could have, because you could have
Mm,
the original from Tim Curry, and you could have the later version with Skarsgård as well.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I do feel that with the Fortnite meta, there was a couple of things that didn't really work.
Mm.
Obviously the pumpkin launcher. Um, well, because you basically didn't, you only had very little ammo for it in any match.
I didn't use it. Yeah, I didn't use it because I just thought it was almost pointless. To be honest, I just felt it was just something that they were like, oh well, we've got this in the system. We'll just add it back in for this
Yeah,
time.
it's the same with the witch's broom. That just felt completely pointless. It's just like, well, you're chucking this in there because it's the Fortnite meta stuff. I can understand
Mm.
that, but at the same time, it is just like you don't need it because
Yeah,
you already had the jetpack to start with in the Marvel
yeah,
season. Then they removed that because they put the Iron Man flight bit in
exactly.
it,
Yeah,
and it's just like so. If you look at it, you got the Iron Man boots, which give you flight, a long flight. As we both
yeah,
said, you can get around the map really quite easily on that. Um, and then you've got the Witch's Broom, which is like a quick sort of like that.
yeah,
It's like
exactly.
a little jump thing. Obviously, more than that. That's just my little air diagram, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like it seemed a bit pointless because even though the Iron Man boots, yes, you have to obviously go up first and then you can start moving. Um, it's still just a lot faster and a lot better.
yeah,
I just,
yeah. I used the witch's broom maybe twice,
yeah,
in all honesty,
I
and
used it
I
if I
just
needed to keep up with people and I didn't have
yeah,
anything else.
exactly.
But apart from that,
But
I just
again,
ignored it.
that's the only reason that I haven't really gone out of my way to use the jetpacks and stuff to try and get myself in a better position for an assault, so to speak. I've
Yeah,
always used it as a mobility item to get myself somewhere quicker or get myself away if I need to be able to heal up in the middle of a fight or something,
yeah,
rather than using it. And maybe I should. Maybe next time I should. Okay, this time round we're gonna do this.
yeah. It could be. I mean, the other thing that I just found so odd on the Marvel season is, I think I don't know if this is deliberate or they couldn't do anything about it, but ammo boxes. We kept finding heavy ammo and we didn't even have a sniper or anything that used heavy
Yeah,
ammo.
what happened? Yes, you're
It's
right. What
just the
happened
most
there?
stupidest thing ever. It's just
It was
like,
crazy because
oh,
the War Machine took the SMG
yep,
bullets, the
mm-hmm,
the small ammo,
yeah.
and
Iron
then
Man didn't need any. It just
yeah, and
recharged.
even the pistols, the Monarch pistols didn't take heavy ammo.
Yeah, no, they were just taking medium ammo.
Yeah, so why?
I I don't know.
That's
I
crazy.
like to think there
I
must have
didn't even
been.
think about that.
Yeah, it's only happened a couple of times. 'Cause obviously, you know me. I like to have the snipers in
Yeah,
in the game. I'm not the best sniper. I admit. There's sometimes I get decent shots off. Other times I fired way too quickly. I'm just like, I
yeah,
was like, damn it, I shouldn't have fired. I should have waited like that. That last second or two just to make sure it lines up properly. Um, and so I'm not the best sniper, but even I was just like, you're giving us sniper ammo,
with
but
no
you
sniper.
didn't give us a sniper for this,
Yeah.
which is really quite odd. But
I am glad to see the snipers back now.
oh, so am I.
I am, and even the semi-auto. I don't mind the semi-auto sniper either.
Mm.
Actually, it's not bad at all. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, that was weird. Why would they do that?
I
I mean, like
don't
you say,
know.
maybe it was just something that they overlooked, and they just oh, well, we'll leave it.
Yeah, or they might not be able to just specifically take something out
Yeah,
without causing too many issues on everything else.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's possible, but it's good that they're conscious of that sort of stuff. If that's the reason, it's good that they're conscious of that sort of stuff because there's a lot of games.
mhm.
One in particular that obviously I stream the most, and when I do stream, that seems to when they do an update, they seem to break more than they fix.
uh, yeah.
Or on the other hand, they completely wipe every bit of save data you've ever had on the game, and you have to fucking start from scratch. Fucking 2K. I'll put that out there, but the 2K games crucifying WWE every year.
Oh dear.
But yeah,
Mm.
I mean, I'm glad the season's over. I'm not going to lie. I've not
So
had,
am I.
but then again, I've not had a great start to the new season either. To the
I
remix, I've
mean,
had a shit start.
I think, like I said to you, obviously we played this off this season and off stream a bit a couple of times since it
Mm.
started. I think it's going to be a case of it might be sweaty for a bit.
I think so,
You
but
probably got
it's
people
like
coming
that.
back to it who used to
I
play it a
think
lot.
it's either end of the spectrum, isn't it? When you
Mm.
start, you either get the first few games that are really quite easy, and you're like, oh, okay, I picked up a few wins here, or you're on the other end of the spectrum where you're like, okay, this is really difficult actually, and
Yeah,
you're going up against you, and the matchmaking hasn't kind of balanced itself out yet.
yeah. Well, hopefully this thing that I said about them looking at the matchmaking, from what I've heard, is going to possibly happen. Is they're going to look at
Yeah,
the matchmaking differently now. Well, whenever they get around to implementing it, I don't think it's implemented just yet. That the lobbies it's going to try and find you are going to be based on like how many kills,
yeah,
wins, etc., things like that. So it's going to look at your career stats, but it's going to look at the person with the least, and then use that to say, right, you guys will go into this lobby.
yeah,
So in theory, I think their theory is that it should still give everyone a reasonable chance. So say for example, if you got like I don't know, you were in a game with like Lulu, two of her friends, who, as Lulu has said
yeah.
to us before, they are. We've never actually played with Lulu's friends
We
on
haven't,
Fortnite,
but the fact that
but
she comes
she's
to us and she's got like
yeah,
44 crown wins.
Lulu is stupidly good at Lulu is
Yeah,
stupidly
she
good at
is.
Fortnite basically.
But she plays it
Um,
religiously. Again,
she plays
she's
it a
one
lot,
person that is
and
able to do it. Yeah,
yeah, she's got friends who are sweats. She's even said that to us, and she's like they've taught her how to
yeah,
1v2s, 1v3s, 1v4, or 1v3. I'm not sure about 1v4s. Yeah, they basically taught her. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
whereas me and Sam will probably just try and see what happens. That's what we're like. Should we
yeah.
try it? Yeah, go on, see what happens. And it's like,
I mean,
that
it's.
didn't work.
I'll always try it. I'll always try something once. I'm either
Yeah,
going to enjoy it or I'm not.
yeah,
But I'll always, I always take everything with a bit of salt. Somebody will say to me, "Oh, this is rubbish. That's rubbish." That's fine, but I want to try it myself before I pass judgment.
yeah. No, that is fair enough. I mean, yeah. So obviously, what in that situation, if you were in that group, then the theory is that it should take into account your stats above everyone
Yeah.
else's.
Well, yeah, because if you look at you look at games and we'll play like say for example we're level between 30 and 50
Mm.
on average. You and I are around about 15 to 20 levels apart,
Yeah.
and then there's games that we're playing against people that are like level 320.
Yeah, I
And I
kn-
know some of that might be XP farming or
mm,
buying levels and stuff like that, but that shouldn't be happening, right? If you've got someone that's like level 320, they should be with somebody that's level 300
yeah.
going against people rather than going against somebody that's like level 20 or level 50.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think this is part of the thing. It always sort of comes down to how do you do the matchmaking in any
Mm.
game? Do you go by someone's level? Do you go by how many kills they
Well,
average
yeah,
in a
again,
game?
because
How
if
many
if
wins?
they bought levels, they doesn't mean they're any good.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't mean they're any good. They can buy the levels and they could be the worst player on Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%. Mm.
but
Or like you said, they could
you
just be
was
sitting on creative maps, and
yeah, they can just be farming XP for
yeah,
days on end and then going, okay, I'm going to jump into Battle Royale and have a few games on there on
yeah.
zero builds or
I,
builds or whatever whatever they want to do.
I mean, me and Sam did a couple of we did some creative games ourselves. Do like horror based games for fun of it for Halloween on stream and things like that. I mean, but some of them were really good fun. As I've always said,
No, they're not. None of them are fun.
he he got scared by a skeleton, guys. That's what happened.
Listen, you got scared too. We've got
Not as
clips of you
badly as you
being
got
scared.
scared.
I get
You
involved in
screamed
the
like a
game. I've said this
you
before.
screamed like a little girl on the alien
Don't
one.
scream like a girl. Just fuck.
No, no, you literally screamed at one point.
I didn't realise the
We had
face
a clip.
huggers were
We have
fucking
a clip.
everywhere. Yes, I know. Do you know what? Momo was the worst one for me, actually.
Oh, the Momo one.
Yeah, the Momo one was the worst one for me. I don't even know why. I
That
think it
was
was just
so random.
I was in so much suspense about that one
Was that
when we
one where
played
we
that
just
one.
kept getting we got really frustrated
There
with it
was
because nothing was simple. It's just like, it's
Yeah,
like
we
you're not
had
telling
to
us what to
unlock that
do.
door, and then there was another door that we had to unlock, and we couldn't find the final key, so in the end, we were like, "Well, fuck it, we give up."
Yeah, it was really quite late that
Because
night.
we couldn't find the final
Like,
key,
we had
and it
to
was just like,
rebuild a
"What's
burger
going
or
on?"
something, didn't we? And feed it to this
Yeah,
picture on
we
the
had to
wall. It's
feed
just
it to
like,
a cat painting on the wall to get a key, and she's like, "What the hell is this all about?"
oh well, I just, I mean, I've always been in two minds about creative maps on Fortnite. I always think there are
I
some that
like
are
some
really
of
good,
them.
but
Like,
there
I
are.
quite like the murder mystery. I know that you didn't really like the murder mystery thing, but I did. I had a bit of fun with that one myself.
I mean, looking back at it, it was a good bit of fun. But again, I mean, I'm one of those people. If I see something bad in the game,
Yeah,
I will sort of go. I mean, I'm not going to say, "Oh no, it's terrible. You shouldn't be allowed to do games," because I'm sure they could probably do 10 times better than what I can. I mean, I've tried
yeah,
to make creative stuff throughout games that I've made maps on Halo when I used to play that, and they were nothing that fancy. I mean, there's
yeah.
only Halo back at that
Oh,
point.
you got to admire the time and the effort that the
Oh
people
yeah,
put in for sure. And obviously, some of them aren't going to get it 100% right because they're not game developers. But what they do is really good.
oh yeah, yeah. There are some, but I'm always one to sort of say, well, no, this is kind of a bit of a flaw in the game. I will. It's the if someone sort of if basically if someone came to me and said, Badger, I'm making this game. Can you let me know what you think of it? I'd be like, okay, but I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be honest on everything
Oh
about
yeah,
it.
you've got to be
I'm not.
absolutely.
I'm not.
Yeah,
As Gordon Ramsay said, I'm not here. Well, I can't say it's not exactly what he said, just in case Spotify don't like it. But I'm not here to blow smoke up your butt.
yeah,
I won't do that to anyone.
absolutely.
I'll just be like, if I think it's stupid, I'm going to tell you. I'll be like,
Yeah.
or if I think
Well, I think that's.
you're almost there, but you could change this to balance something out, I will say it. I'll be like,
But I think
well,
that's
you've
what
done
anything's.
this, and then like that.
That's what that's what's needed, isn't it? And
Mm,
that's why Fortnite is the way it is because they do get the feedback from their players, especially people that are so engrossed in it and play it religiously. They are going to turn around and say, "Well, we don't like this," and you would hope that companies listen.
oh
But
yeah,
you take
definitely.
not all of them do. You take EA as a prime example. If you
Yeah.
look at FIFA all those years and now EAFC, and they just
Mm,
ruin it every year because they just put in these paywalls. People can just pay to get their cards and make their teams better and put you at a distinct disadvantage.
mm,
Um, and it's crazy. They don't care about the gameplay anymore. They just care about the online and making money.
yeah.
But you would hope that Epic are not like that because although they are making tons of money
Mm,
from skins and battle passes and stuff, like that, and the Fortnite crew with the monthly subscription,
yeah.
you would think for the most part that they would look at the gameplay and they're going to go, okay, so this hasn't worked out. So we're going to correct it or we're going to change it and try it this way. And it seems that they do that, to be honest. It does seem that they do that quite frequently.
Yeah, yeah, I think Epic are very good at listening to the community and or sort of realizing their own mistakes. Like we have said,
Yeah.
they have nerfed things, and even as you said earlier, when we mentioned about a couple of seasons back when we first
Mm.
had the cars and the
Oh, they were
boss
ridiculous. Yeah.
cars, they were like self regenerating and everything. It's
Yeah.
just like no matter how much ammo you depleted, you
Yeah.
barely did anything. So they did actually say, "Oh right, okay, we shouldn't have done that," and they then went, "Okay,
And
take it
that's the
out."
thing, and I do like the fact that they're so strict on people because that's one thing that I hated with Call of Duty is that you would come against people that and you'd know straight away that they're using like a wall hack or something.
Hmm.
You could tell straight away. And there's times that I've got recordings on my Xbox of where I've been shot through a wall, and I'm like, well, how the fuck did that work? And they don't
Yeah.
monitor it. And I love the fact that Epic is so stringent and and visual on what people are doing and whether they're actually being whether they're cheating and actually playing the game properly
Hmm.
because it does make it fairer for everybody and it means that you're actually winning because you are the best at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I just agree with you on that one. Um. So what would you sort of rate this season? Well, the Marvel season out of 5. Then.
Out of five, ooh,
Yeah.
2.5.
Okay.
Smack bang in the middle, I think.
Fair
It had
enough.
its ups,
Fair
but it
enough.
also had its downs, and I think the
Yeah.
downs were they were just so heavy that
Hmm.
it just brings the score down. I probably would have said 3, maybe 3.5, but I think the downsides just take that away, and I would say that it's in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking probably I'd say about three. Um, like I said, obviously, I think there has been a lot of downsides, and towards the end, it has got quite frustrating. That all the Marvel seem to get quite frustrating as well, because of all just the mythics and the special
Yeah,
weapons. It did just, I mean, as I'm sure I said it on stream, I know I've said it to you, it did feel like it took some of the skill out of the game, or
yeah,
some of the chances where I thought like I actually need to use my skills to make sure I aim properly, track the person. It's just like I
yeah,
could go, actually, no, I don't need to. I've got Iron Man gauntlets.
yeah.
Put the Iron Man gauntlets up and just
And the same with War
free
Machine,
aim.
because you shot the rockets, it had quite a big circle to hit.
Yeah,
So even if they were in the middle of the circle and the rockets were coming around them, you were still doing damage.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't rate it highly. I mean, I was thinking about this. I don't remember much of the first Marvel season, so I don't know which one I'd probably
Yeah.
say is I
Well, see,
prefer.
that's the thing. I say that I didn't get to play the first Marvel season, but I've still got loads of the Marvel skins. They've obviously either just come out. I do. I actually no, that's not true. I did play a bit of the last season because I remember going to Tilted Towers, and I remember being it was covered in spider webs and stuff, and Spider Man was out and the Hulk was out, but
Oh.
I don't remember a great deal, so I can't really compare the two.
Yeah, well, I
Um,
know they've done a few. So we had the main one, which was the initial one, and they've
yeah,
done like throughout the years they've done a few other ones. Like we had Spider Man Carol Lab come up with one of the seasons where they brought in the
hmm.
Daily Bugle and things like that.
That might be
Um,
the one that I had played then
it
with
could
the
have been,
Daily
yeah,
Bugle over at well, where Tilted Towers was.
yeah. What was that Tilted?
Was it? I don't know, but
I think it
I
might have
do
been,
remember the
but
Daily Bugle being there.
the maps changed so much and everything.
Just bring back Camp Cuddle. I want Camp Cuddle.
And also, Epic, can we please get rid of the ancient Greek parts? We don't need them
Yeah,
anymore.
we don't need them anymore. They can disappear
You've
now.
got rid of that. There is nothing to do with the storyline
Yeah.
of the ancient Greek gods anymore. Why are they still sitting on the map?
It's going to be
It's
interesting
just
to
like
see
what?
what they do in December
Yeah,
when this season when the remix season of level of chapter of season 2 ends.
yeah.
What are they? Is that going to be a full season? Are we going to get 3 months, or is it going to be another month? Are they just doing? Because they're saying
Um,
about whittling it down to doing only one big live event a year, right?
yeah. So I think what their plan is going forward is they might do mini events, which is what they did
Okay.
this in the Marvel
Yeah.
season. So it's a mini event where you could take down Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
If you basically appeared in one of the matches, and then they're saying like a full blown cinematic one like what they used to do.
Hmm.
I think for the end of year or for the end of each chapter, so to speak, then they'll
Okay.
use that to then
So maybe
go.
they'll do like a few smaller ones that last a month, and then that every 3 months do a bigger one. I suppose maybe.
Maybe I think it is the plan that they'll keep a map on for a year and
Yeah.
then they'll refresh it, which is a good idea because it just means you're not constantly going to be at the same on the
Yeah,
same map
I
all
do
the
like
time.
that because obviously when they change the map hugely,
Mm,
it throws you off balance for the first few times of playing. Like even
yeah,
now, I've only played a few times, and I'm like, where the hell am I?
mm,
Where should I go? Where's good to drop?
yeah.
But that's part of the parcel of
It
that's to be
is, yeah.
expected.
I mean, like I said, obviously, chapter two is where I started playing.
Yeah,
Most of my playtime probably come from when chapter two was going on. I had a little bit at the end of chapter one,
right.
mainly into chapter two, and then chapter three.
Yeah.
So chapter two was where I played it the most and everything. Um, Obviously, I know it's sort of you came in on the latter end of chapter two,
Hmm.
uh, as well. I think you sort of started playing it more prominently when we had the big IO battles with the tanks and everything, and
Yeah.
everybody's like,
Yes.
Badger, don't go drive tank. I've got a tank,
Yeah,
guys.
because you are the first person I've ever seen to roll a tank.
Hey, I've done it on Fortnite, and I'm pretty sure I've done it on World of Tanks.
I'm pretty sure you could do it in real life.
Don't tempt me.
Just don't let Badger near tanks.
It's fine, people. I know how to drive a tank. I've played video games. I
Oh
love
my
that.
goodness.
Have you got any experience driving this? Playing video games count? Yes.
But you say
Woo!
that, but there was a guy years ago that landed a plane because the pilot had passed out,
Oh
and
yeah, I heard that.
there was a guy that had like 5,000 hours on flight sim,
Yeah.
and he landed the plane perfectly. And they were like, "What the hell?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, I've racked up hours and hours, and I'm talking hours upon hours on
Yeah.
flight sim."
Well, I mean that's understandable because obviously that is made to be a
Yeah,
proper.
it's made to be, but even so, it just and I've not seen the film, but Gran Turismo is based on that, isn't it? Gran Turismo is based on the fact that they bring this guy in from video games and then put him in a real life race course.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what it's based on. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I've not seen it, but yeah, it's based on the video games. Um,
Yeah.
and I think basically the story is the general gist is they bring this guy in that's been playing Gran Turismo video games for ages, and
Mhm.
they want to see how he would react in real life. And I know they did something on Top Gear on that as well years ago with
Yeah, I think they.
Jeremy Clarkson and stuff.
Yeah, I think they did do something like that on Top
Yeah,
Gear. 'Cause, yeah. So no, I don't know what they're going to be doing because I mean, off the top of my head, obviously I haven't heard anything about what the next season after Remix is going to be. I know we've got a bit to go because we had the season 2
yeah,
Remix, well, the prelude. Um, then we've got the main scene right at the end. I think we're getting another little thing to do with Marshmallow,
okay,
which I think is going to take that will take us into the
yeah.
next bit. Um,
I'm going to say it once more, and
mm,
I'll say it again on every podcast that I do with you on about about Fortnite, and I'll say it to you on stream, off stream. Epic, there's one collaboration you need to do. Power Rangers.
oh yes, 100%.
You need to bring in Power Rangers. We need Power Rangers. Even if you
Give us
just
the
brought the skins
Megazord.
in, give us the Megazords, give us, Lord Z,
Yeah,
give us the Green Ranger, the White. Just give us it
yeah.
all. Give us all the Power
We
Rangers.
we
Goldar,
yeah. We're not asking for every single season. Just give us the Zordon
just the
errors.
OG, just the
We
OG.
want the Zordon error bits.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean, you can leave
I
Justin because
want to be
nobody likes
running
him.
around with Alpha on my back as a back bling.
That'd just be hilarious.
That would be
Imagine
great.
running around as Alpha.
Oh, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And you
And
could imagine a Zordon emote as well. Like you hold up your morpher,
yeah,
and
it's
he
a
appears as the
do, do,
hologram.
do, do,
Well,
do,
they've done
do.
it. They've done it with the Mandalorian, haven't they? Where it goes, "This is the way," the Star Wars one.
Yeah,
So that
they
we
did
know
it.
they can do it.
Mm, that would
That would
actually be
be
quite cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm just laughing at the fact of just in my head. I'm now just picturing an Alpha skin, like the original Alpha
Oh, it'd be brilliant.
5 was it? I think 5 top of my head. Can't remember what number he was at that point. But that, and then give him the moat where he goes, ay,
Yeah.
ay, 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 ay.
Oh, that
And
would
you
be
just do it
fantastic.
every time, just like you
That
kill
would be
someone.
great.
Ay, 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 ay,
And
ay.
all the Power Rangers would have to have the morpher emote as well, so they're in their like traditional clothes, and then they
Oh,
can
yeah.
morph into their ranger. Because you got it with Eddie Brock where he morphs into Venom. You can do it, so
Yeah, that
that
would
would be
be
amazing.
so good. I
It has to
literally,
happen at some point, surely.
well,
It's
ah,
got to be. I would
want it to
imagine,
happen, but I know obviously they have now said that Power Rangers is stopping. It has been stopped. They
which
got
is even more reason for it to happen.
yeah. I it is one of those things. Part of me wants it to happen, but at the same time, part of me is just like, will they get it? Because I know there's been stories of them trying to get certain rights and things, and they've
Yeah.
just been rejected because people are
But
saying,
it might even be that they've just, I don't know, maybe they want stupid money for the rights, and Epic are just like, we're not paying that money.
it could
It
be
could be
that,
anything,
yeah,
couldn't it?
because
Yeah,
they've got to pay for the rights to be able to sort of say yes, we're allowed to
yeah,
do this or something like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I heard ages ago they were at one point trying to speak. They were speaking to Nintendo, trying to get
Pokemon.
some. No, not Pokemon.
No. Oh,
Pokemon was an
okay.
entire fabrication.
Right.
There was someone we used to play this game with and used to stream,
Yeah, yeah.
and he was like, oh, Badger, 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 they're going to put Pokemon into Fortnite. I was like, They are not.
Nintendo and the Pokemon Company protect those
I mean,
rights. So
what
I
I
mean, they're
will.
suing Powerwell now, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, they finally got their
Uh,
thing
yeah,
through to actually sue Palworld about it. What I will say, guys, if anybody thinks Pokemon will come to Fortnite, there are only two ways that I would believe it would ever happen. I doubt this will ever happen. One would be that Nintendo go bankrupt and they need to make a ton of money fast to save themselves. Two would basically be Nintendo have lost interest in doing anything, and that is not going to happen. I know a lot of people
no.
don't like the newer Pokemon games and stuff, but Pokemon is Nintendo's
It's their,
baby.
yeah, it's their best-selling game.
I mean, Nintendo will not give anybody those rights.
No, they've had
Nintendo,
those rights since Pokemon was on Game Boy.
yeah.
They've had those rights since then. Yeah,
And as you mentioned, Palworld, Nintendo went
yeah,
straight after them, and
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know
Within the first 24 hours,
a lot of
they were like on
people,
it.
yeah, a lot of people do like Palworld, and a lot of people say it was really good and it was an indie game and everything, but it just was just like I was kind of on Nintendo's side because there was some things that was like, yeah, you've not actually tried to do anything. You've just gone, oh, let's just take this, add
Yeah,
this little bit here, and just change the color. It's just like
we'll
you're
change
not.
the name a little bit.
Yeah, there's some of them you just haven't really tried
No,
on, which I know it's not always easy if you're trying to make your own things because they will look like other things you might get inspiration from. I know that, but at the same time, it's just like no. And I know at one point I think Epic tried to ask Nintendo about like getting Samus, but
I
again,
really,
yeah, Nintendo are just like the only way you're getting this is you're paying us a lot of money and we want it, so only Nintendo Switch players can see it and can have it.
yeah.
And Epic was like, yeah, no, we can't really do that
Well, it
because
doesn't just. It makes no sense for Epic to do it
mm,
that way, does it? Because obviously, I would imagine that a huge population of Fortnite players, the
yeah,
majority of them are going to be on PC, and then you're going to have more players on the Xbox and the PlayStation than you do the Switch.
yeah,
Because I don't know when you play it. I mean, obviously, it's a lot different for you because you play it
mm,
on the PC the majority of the time as well as the Xbox.
mm,
But going from the Xbox on next gen to playing it on the Switch it's completely different. It's not a nice experience to play it on the Switch once you've played it on a screen with a higher refresh rate and
oh yeah,
and that's a next gen console as well.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've not properly played it on the Switch myself, and I know Looms he tried playing
Mm,
on the Switch, and he said it was this is when we just had builds mode, so this is before we got no builds.
yeah,
But he was around someone else's who was streaming at that point. She was on a PC and he was playing on the
on the Switch,
Switch.
yeah,
And he's had the Joy Cons connected to the screen, and even he said it was like this is really horrible to
yeah,
control because it's not natural and things like
yeah.
that. I mean,
It's not a nice experience at all by any means.
yeah, it's nothing against the Switch. The Switch can produce some decent graphics, but it's just
Yeah,
obviously compared to like I
it's
said, what
not
the
the right game
Xbox
for the it's not the right console for that game. The
mm,
Switch has
has.
its own genre, so to speak, of games, and
Yeah,
it's made the Switch is aimed at younger people to take the games elsewhere, which is Nintendo's always been for the most
yeah.
part. Is that
Mm.
they've been for the younger demographic. Um, it might be different with the Switch 2. The Switch 2, from what I've read and seen online, is looking like it's going to be quite a powerhouse.
Yeah, it's certainly got the possibility of it
Yeah,
doing that. So yeah, we might see that with the Switch 2. You never know. But I mean the Switch
no,
2 can seems to reasonably run Fortnite. All right, but I know what you mean, sort of obviously like you said, I will mainly play Fortnite on my
yeah,
PC, unless it's off stream and then you give me a shout and say you and Beans want to know if I'm
yeah.
free, then I'll jump on the Xbox so Beans can hear me because of the settings and things like that. But I noticed the difference
Oh yeah, you do
graphic
definitely. Yeah.
wise. I mean,
It's not just the graphic wise. There's quite a considerable delay from the Switch. Like even when we play with Shadow,
excuse me.
it takes her so much longer to get in the lobby than we do.
Yeah, yeah. I always find that a bit odd, really, because you know, again, but I think it's just the hardware
Yeah, I think so.
situation. Yes, but I do have a question to ask you, and as you know,
Okay, cool.
I usually throw out a random question.
Okay,
I was tempted to throw it out on stream, but I thought, you know what, I want to ask you on the podcast first because I
okay.
thought it might be quite a fun little question to ask you. Um, so So obviously, as you know, obviously you're a massive wrestling fan, so you know wrestlers have their entrance music and everything.
Yeah.
So the question is, if you could have one song for theme on Fortnite for either when you get a victory royale or when you're in the lobby, your own personal theme, what would you have? Like, what piece of music would it be?
That's an easy one because it's the song that I use as an intro on Oni's stream for my wrestler, and it's always a song that I said that I would use on any kind of entrance, and it's "Crying Like a Bitch" by Gobsmacked by Godsmack,
Ah, damn.
and I love it. It's such a good song, and it's a hard hitting song in the sense of fight music, and I
Mm.
think I think that would suit me quite well. How about you? What would yours be if you could? That's quite. I mean, it's a
Oh,
good question. It's a really good question because there are loads of good songs to pick, but
yeah.
I'm quite fortunate to know that what I would have immediately. But if it wasn't that song, I'd have honestly I
Mm.
have no idea.
See, that's the thing. It's hard for me because there's loads of songs and there's quite a few like bands and things that I quite like that got some really good songs. I just like that'd be so cool to hear. Um, that's actually really hard for me. I was trying to think about it a couple of days ago. It's just like, what would I
Mm,
have? I mean, I think my first thought would probably be going to one of the Iron Maiden songs.
okay.
Um, Possibly Can I Play It Madness? Maybe.
Yeah.
Um, because I just think that for Fortnite is just that works so well. I mean, I know I've always said I want to see Iron Maiden in Fortnite.
I
We've
mean, that
had
would be good.
we've had Metallica. It's just like, come on, please, Epic, someone go and speak to Iron Maiden, go and speak to Bruce, ask if we can at least just have Eddie. I want
Yeah,
Eddie. I
yeah.
want to run around as Eddie, or even the
Eddie
Trooper.
would be awesome.
I love the Trooper, the Iron Maiden song, the Trooper. I love that song. That is
Yeah.
so good.
There are
Um,
so many good songs
yeah,
that would work really well.
yeah. I mean, there's stuff I haven't listened to for a while that I just know I love. Like, um, I mean, as you know, I'm sure probably most of the stream know. I grew up with Sonic the Hedgehog games. I grew up with Sonic
Yeah.
the Hedgehog. I watched the TV series. It is a massive part of my life. Not massive part of my, but it's been in my life for ages. I've always liked it. Um, I used to pretty much compare myself to Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog, personality-wise, things like that. Um, and all that. And it's like even like when we got into the 3D games of Sonic, the Sonic 3D games, like when we had like Sonic Heroes, the songs that Crush 40 did, and it's like even the songs on Sonic Frontiers, they are so good. Like the
Yeah.
most recent ones, they have no business going that hard, but they are so much fun to listen to. They're all boss themes, but they're just so good.
Yeah.
I've listened to them so much, I'm just like, this is brilliant. So let me bring up Spotify because I've got to remember which ones I've got.
I remember
That's
you
Google, of
talk about
course.
soundtracks. I don't know. I can't remember any of the songs on it, but it was back in like the 90s, early 2000s, where you had like Sum 31 and Heaven is a
Absolutely.
Half Pipe and stuff like that. I remember buying a Dave
Mm.
Mirror BMX game,
Yeah,
and it came with a CD, and the CD was the whole soundtrack,
nice.
and it was awesome because he used to put the CD on when I wasn't playing the game.
Mm. Uh, I think, okay, I think to actually choose one specifically, I think I'd have to do uh, Breakthrough It's All from the Sonic Frontiers soundtrack.
Yeah.
So it goes so heavy, it's just so good. I just think,
But that's why I like Crying Like a Bitch
mm,
by Godsmack, because it's yeah, it just goes hard, and it's the lyrics as well. You strut on by like a king, tell everybody that you know nothing.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, it resonates with how I would want to feel if I was stepping into a ring or something like that.
oh yeah, definitely. Well, I think it's a good place to call it there for today,
Yeah, no,
today's episode. But yes, thank you for joining me, Sam. Hope you have enjoyed
no,
it.
thank you for having me again. Yeah, always, dude,
I know
always.
it's a pleasure to have you on, dude. It is honestly a
No,
real
it's a
pleasure.
pleasure to be on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And guys, do not forget, Sam has taken a bit of a break from the stream, but he is coming back in November. Sam, what's the date again?
13 days from today, the 18th.
The 18th. So Sam is coming back
18th
to
of
streaming
November.
on the 18th of November. He's coming back with his WWE 2K24 eFed. He is awesome
Appreciate you.
on the commentary. He's an awesome streamer. So guys, if you're not following, go drop him a follow. He's on Twitch, Samtastic29. Do go drop him a follow. You should see me in a few of the streams as well. I'll be there in chat when I can and everything. But yeah, he's always really welcoming, guys, and his stream is so much fun. His community is so much fun as well. And even if you're not a wrestling fan, get yourself in there, have a good laugh with all of us, because that's all it is. And
That's what it's about.
you can see us cutting promos in the Discord, and just some of that just gets funny after a while.
I can't wait for that to start again.
Yeah,
I really can't.
it is going to be
It's
awesome,
one,
dude.
it's one thing that I love about it is all the promos that people come up with together
Oh yeah,
and the shit that people talk.
I was loving mine and Lanterns Pro. Mine and Lanterns Pro. I was just like, this is the kind of person I want to promo against, because I can bounce
Lantern's
off.
good.
It's just
Lantern
like,
loves it.
yeah, because I can just bounce off someone like Lanterns. It's just
Yeah.
like that. That's the kind of person who likes that. It's like when I've tried to,
Antonio Banderas.
yeah, it's like when I've promo against other people before, I've just said something and they've just like, I've not responded. I'm just like, no, he won't. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, that's that then. But yeah,
I think some people find it hard. Some people find the promo hard.
Yeah.
I think it's we all know it's in jest and it's character to character. But I think a lot of people find it like until they've got to know somebody, they're like, well, can I cross this line? Can I cross that line?
Yeah, 100%.
Like I've had people message me before saying, right, I'm going to say this. So I had one person message me saying, I'm going to bring up your old e-feds and your wife. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, it's cool. Fine.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's not a problem at all. I know it's not personal, but just be warned that I will bring up your wife too. So, as long as you're game, I'm game.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, do seriously go. If you're not following Sam, do go follow him. Give him some support on his when he comes back to streaming. I know he's probably nervous about it, but dude, it's going to be brilliant. As I've told you,
I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
It's going to be awesome. Everything's going to go fine. You are awesome streamer. You're 10 times better streamer than I ever will be. Don't you start arguing that one, right?
I'm not saying
I just shut him up on
gonna
that one.
say
Otherwise, we'd
anything.
be going back and forth on that for ages.
Yeah, we will be. Yeah.
But yes, do go drop a follow,
No,
guys.
I appreciate your kind words. Thank you.
That's no problem. And yeah, that is us done for today's episode. Don't forget, if you want to listen to the rest of the episodes, they're all on Spotify. This will be going up onto YouTube as well as Spotify as well. So there will be the video version if you'd rather just watch us chat and see our faces while we're chatting and everything like that. As well, yeah, I don't know why either. Half the time,
I'll wear a bin bag next time.
But yes, yeah, thank you for listening, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll catch you again on the next podcast. See you later.
Take care, everyone.